Hey, what is going on? We're doing it. Edit this, make it public. Okay, we're live. Hopefully people will come in here soon. I don't want to be in here by my lonesome. It'd be boring. Come on in. See some people popping in here maybe. All right, come on down. Not everybody at once. Not everybody at once. So, if you're coming on here, you're watching this, wanted to come on here. Hey, JB's in here. Howdy, guy. First one in here. Vinny, what's up, man? How's it going? Long time no talk. And I am here, and we are doing it. Michael L., how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you guys can hear me just fine. Can you guys hear me just fine? Let me know in the comments. Grayson, what's up, buddy? Grayson lives right down the street. All right, we got people popping in here. Yo, yo, yo. I love to see it. Love to see it. Shoo! We are back, and we are doing it. All right, let's see. We got Lawn Life's in here. WG Smoking Stripes, Patrick Harvey, Eric Bond, Jets, Mike Landry, Papa Mo's Low. What's up? Longest Yard. Man, it's been a long time since I've seen some of these names. Love to see it. All right, so really, I wanted to come on here, do the first live stream, and I'm hoping to kind of make this a regular thing every Monday night. Would like to do this, and if this time works for you guys, sometime about 8 or 8:30 start time, I want to make it the same time every week, so it's consistent. We'll get on here for about an hour. Not looking to do a Ron Henry. The guy runs a clean show, but I can't do 3 to 5 hours every Friday. I respect him for doing that, but I can't do it. Hey, come on in here. My wife's in the room. She just popped in. Hey-o. Jet17 wants to know, how many more kids do you have now? We've got 3 total. 3 girls, and that's it. Stopping. 3 and done. You gonna join us?
Sure. Oh, it's like delayed.
We got 50 people in here. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments, and we will try to answer them. If I can't answer them, I will tell you that, and I'll try to look it up after the show and get you a good answer for it.
I've never seen this before. Where do the questions pop up?
They're right here.
Oh.
Jordan Black says he's going to change the oil and sharpen the blades. Good luck to you, buddy. What do you think of aeration in the spring? So, if your lawn is compacted, I say go for it. But other than that, not really a huge fan of aeration in the spring. I think it's better served in the fall, mainly because there's a good chance of bringing up weed seeds whenever you aerate, and then you're going to have that battle all summer long. So best to, sometimes you can't help but seed. I'm going to be doing that, but if you can avoid it, I would say do the aeration in the fall. Papa Moslow wants to know, how's the yard and what type of grass I go with. I have no yard yet. It's a big old dirt patch, mud pit. Not very fun for the kids to play on. And grass type that I'm going with is still kind of undecided. I've got like one more week to figure that all out.
Really? You don't know?
I mean, I kind of know, but not
Oh my
100%.
I was at our neighbor's house the other day playing in the yard, and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot how nice this was.
To have grass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just has been so long.
We need grass. Tim is up in the Boston area. Thanks for all the great tips. You are welcome. You are welcome. It's probably still really cold where you're at, I would imagine. You probably have a little while before you're getting out in the lawn. When is the best time to dethatch a yard? I would say spring is a good time before you put down like your pre-emergent, or if you are going to seed, do an overseeding, that's a great time to dethatch a yard as well. Juan Trotter wants to know, how do we get a hold of your product? I'm not sure which product you're referring to, but I have several of them on my website. You can go check that out. I think I put a link down in the description of this video. Paul Barber wants to know, any good tips on cleaning up acorns? Just moved to a new house and the front yard tree drops acorns. Our last house had 2 big trees that dropped acorns. I would get out and pick them by hand, or you can rake them up. It's a pain, but I think Garden Weasel, who makes the cultivator that I like to use, makes a nut grabber, I think is what it's called. Not talking about my hand. They have I think it's called a nut grabber. I really think that's legitimately what it's called. And you roll it over the acorns or the nuts, and it just picks them up. Hey, no phones on this. Come on.
Sorry.
Rookie. I'm just kidding. You can do whatever you want.
Okay. I have to post something.
Michael L., do you know what brand seed you'd go with? I think I'm going to go with Barenbrug. There's a lot of good seed brands out there. I'm not saying that is the number one, but I have seen some yards that are Barenbrug Turf Blue Pro, which is their Kentucky Bluegrass, and it's fantastic. My old neighbor Eric, if you guys watch my Airgreen videos, his house he seeded with Barenbrug, and it looks fantastic. Does a really good job in the heat, and it just overall is a great seed to go with. So Grayson wants to know, is it too early to start seeding yards I plugged in the fall? No. Go ahead, man. We're getting right now into the perfect window to start doing that, I think. Soil temps are above 50. I think between like 50 and 55, and then up to like 65, 70 is a good time to start seeding. So we're just now in that time to go ahead and start getting after it. Vinny, I'm going to real mow my new 5,000 square foot lawn. Just don't know what type I'm going to plant yet. Have fun, man. You're starting a whole new world of mowing once you get into real mowing. It becomes addicting. It really does. It's pretty awesome. Those acorn garden weeds works well. Okay, so Patrick Harvey has used the Garden Weasel acorn gatherer or nut gatherer according to Don Zinder. It's not the nut grabber, nut gatherer. That makes a little bit more sense. That sounds a little cleaner. I apologize if I skip your question and you want it answered. Send me an email and I'll try to get it answered, or wait till next week and I'm trying to get through all of them, but there's a lot of questions. Black Stallion LH wants to know, spring dethatch. You can definitely dethatch in the spring. It's a good time to do it. If your lawn is it's basically the same thing as raking. I always recommend get out early in the spring and rake to get some airflow. Dethatching, as long as you're not setting the tines too deep, it's basically the same thing. Just get some of the dead junk out, get some airflow in there. It's good stuff for the lawn. Hi, Cindy Nelson. How are you? Bet you're getting that garden ready to go here pretty soon. $12.00 midnight, change my lawn. I love to hear it. It's good stuff. I'm a big fan of it, and I'm glad you're liking it too. Problem with this is it keeps skipping back to the bottom, so I got to go back up to the top and look. Dave Zigmund, hopefully I'm saying that right, says, welcome back, LW. Greetings from Jersey. How you doing, my friend? Thank you for joining us. Hope you don't have to deal with our Indiana clay or your new place. Waiting for mine to dry a bit more before I get going this season. We have a lot of clay here, but I'm looking forward to the challenge. It's going to be fun. Patrick Harvey says Grayson's going to try to show you up. He will. How old is Grayson?
Is that Grayson from church?
Yeah, he's right down the street. How old is Grayson?
Probably like a sophomore.
Grayson,
junior.
how old are you?
Probably a sophomore, junior in high
He's
school.
driving now, I know. I think he's 16, I think. He's awesome. Grayson has his own business, and he is a hard worker. Good kid.
He's 16. So that would be like what, junior?
Sophomore or junior, yeah. Evan says, hey, boss, just hopped on, so I'm not asking a question. Hold on, I can't. How many pounds of N would you recommend putting down in the spring if you put down 2 pounds last fall? I like to start the spring with about a half a pound of nitrogen. Nice, slow, good wake up, but doesn't slap it in the face, because if you put down more than that, I think once we start getting warm weather and a lot of rain like we get in the spring, that stuff is going to be growing like crazy and you're going to hate it. But half a pound does a good enough job where it'll help wake it up, and it'll help get a nice green color. Rob Frasco asks, any new products you're looking to try this season? I've got a few, actually. More so trying some different things in my business. And to kind of see how that stuff does, and trying different stuff on some different lawns, and I will hopefully report on YouTube and show these products eventually. Brandon Hayden, do you have problems dissolving sanctuary in the backpack? I have to use warm water. I've never had any issues dissolving it. What I like to do is have the water in the tank and be mixing the water while I'm putting the sanctuary in, and it seems to dissolve pretty easily. If you have issues with it, I would recommend getting some sort of pitcher or cup, dissolving it in water before you add it to your backpack sprayer, if that makes sense. So I guess like a pre-mix before you mix it in the sprayer. Grayson 16, there you go.
I knew it.
Yep. Cindy says today was her first mow in Central Maryland. I am jealous. I am very jealous, actually. I don't even have a lawn to mow.
Have you ever been to Maryland?
Nope.
I don't think I have either.
Never. Maybe someday. Gonna Make It says, in Georgia, not a lawn guy, sprinkler dead. What's a recommendation? Think about just throwing some seed. I'm not exactly sure what the question is. If you want to email me, I would be happy to try and dive into it.
I think he probably just wants like a simple fix. Is there a simple fix?
For what?
For his lawn.
I'm not sure what his lawn looks like.
Well, okay.
I don't know what the issue with the lawn is. Jamie the accountant is in here. Hello, sir. How are you? Griff is from Iowa. Shout out to Iowa. Evan Morsel says he sounds like a plan. Trying to balance mowing and fishing this spring is going to be fun. Yeah, you better soak that up before that baby comes. He's having his first baby.
Oh.
He's a big fishing guy.
Well.
Okay, here's a question for you from Bryce Starkey. Says, for the Mrs. Wispy, Mrs. Whisperer, what is your favorite and least favorite thing about the lawn obsession?
Justin, he like truly loves this so much. So I love like when, I don't know, he like gets to, I don't know, he's super passionate. So I love like seeing that blossom out of him, I guess I should say.
Blossom.
I mean, you like light up when you talk about the lawn. So I love that. And then my
love a good
least
blossom.
favorite thing.
Awesome blossom.
I guess, well, I don't really know. I don't hate it. I don't think I really have a least favorite thing about your lawn obsession.
Maybe the time it takes.
Yeah, but...
When I tell you I'm going to go mow for 10 minutes, it's going to take 10 minutes, and I'm out there for 2 hours.
Yeah, but Justin is really good. Like, Justin prioritizes, like, okay, so he used to literally wake up at, like, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and go do some lawn stuff that didn't, like, wake the neighbors up because he knew that we were sleeping. So Justin is really good about prioritizing. Like, if he knows we're having family time, then he won't be out in the lawn, and I notice that, and I appreciate it. So I think because you're really good at that, I give a lot of grace for when you have to have, like, the long hours in for the lawn. But he's a firefighter, so I've also learned, like, there's a lot of give and take, but I guess we're just kind of, like, used to... We work well together. We're both pretty independent people, but we're a good team.
Was it couples retreat? We get through things well together. We blossom. Big blossom guy.
Oh. Well, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I gotcha.
I like to see him happy, and the lawn makes you happy. So, there you go.
Love the old lawn.
I mean, you could be, like, obsessed with feet or something weird.
That's for the OnlyFans. Good answer. All right. Next question. Eric Bond wants to know, can you use tenacity in a hose-in sprayer? No. I do not recommend using any herbicides in a hose-in sprayer, including, prodiamine, anything that you're using herbicide-wise, because it's just not accurate enough. You can't get an uniform coverage. I definitely recommend a backpack sprayer. Tim McLean, hopefully I'm saying that right, says, Sanctuary is the best. Thank you, sir. Brett Sucks, who is a huge fan of mine, by the way, huge fan. Always has something really nice to say. Says, the missus is hot. I'm punching above my weight. There you go. Perfect. I definitely married up.
That is not true.
Dadbald Lawn is joining us, says, loving the new studio. Thank you, sir. It's not 100% done yet, but we are close. Longest Yard wants to know, how's the Achilles? Achilles is good. I would say it's probably 85% or so. I have days where I walk around all day and it doesn't hurt, but then I have days where it hurts quite a bit. It hurts right now, but it's all good. It's getting better every day. JD wants to know, how far are you from your old house? I think it's about a 15-minute drive or so.
13.
Oh, 13, sorry. 13.
Now. Oh, wait, is Jamie the accountant? Like the guy that... Oh, my gosh, I would always talk to him on Instagram whenever the Instagram page that ended quickly.
Yeah, she started an Instagram page trying to post pictures of the house build, and she posted like 4 pictures.
Well, when you got hurt, everything went...
I'm pretty sure all 4 pictures were posted like 2 months before I got hurt. And then you never... Anyways.
Good times. Good times talking to Jamie about...
Good times.
He helped me pick out the lights for our kitchen.
He says you did a great job on the kitchen. It's spectacular. Oh, Trevor is in the house. First Aussie, sorry. Been a while since you've been live. Welcome back. It's been a long time since I've done anything, I feel like. It's been 7 months since I got hurt, I think.
August 15th is when you had your first surgery, because that was my first day back at school.
Feels like 5 years. Robert says, join me in making a putting green in the yard. Good luck to you, sir. Assuming you're using bent grass, you're going like legit putting green, or you're going to do a little ryegrass or bluegrass and cut it short. Bearded lawn guy, what's up? You missed my beard. Man, I don't know if you saw that or not, but I had a pretty solid one going.
Bearded lawn guy. That could be like somebody's new YouTube name.
That's his YouTube name.
Oh
the
my
Bearded
gosh.
Lawn Guy. He's not calling me that. That's his name. He's the Bearded Lawn Guy.
Oh, because you had such a crazy beard. Okay, well, I like your name. The Bearded Lawn Guy. It's really funny.
Oh, Jason Cleveland. I have not seen Jason pop in a long time. He says, wanted to say thanks again for the sticker and the Milorganite hat. I have the sticker on my laptop and wear the hat when I want to smell like success. Attaboy. Good on you, sir. Appreciate you stopping in here. Have you ever lit the lawn on fire? Alex Hernandez wants to know, since you're a firefighter. I actually have not, but my neighbor Eric, who we put the Irrigreen sprinklers in his yard, he has done that twice. He's done 2 renovations, 2 different parts of his yard he's started over on, and he has actually done the lighting of the fire. But I was not involved in that. I stayed far away. Frankie, I'm in high school and started my own solo business last year. You've been a huge help and have been a great YouTube teacher in helping me start and grow my business. That is awesome. That is the kind of stuff that I like to see. You and Grayson, who we were talking about earlier. If you guys know Aiden Sabo, I believe is his last name. A's Lawn and Landscaping. He has a YouTube channel and Instagram page. He, I believe, is 17 or 18 now. And that guy has a full crew working for him. There's several young kids that are like that, and I think it's awesome. Mike Landry, how are the trees coming along? I'm assuming you're talking about my little tiny trees that I planted last year. I need to go check on those. I haven't even been to the border of our property and looked at that. I'm assuming they're probably not doing well because they haven't gotten watered or anything. But I need to go look at that. I'll need to film an update video on that. Jet 17 wants to know what happened with the leg. Did you kick in a door to put out a fire? I wish. That would be a much cooler story. I have a video that I posted on my channel. You can go watch that video. It explains it, shows pictures of it. Really nasty stuff. Good times. Here's a kind of a loaded question from Evan. Who's about to become a dad, says, hey, this is more of a personal question. How do you and Mrs. Whisper make sure that you don't lose your individual identities as parents? How do you balance everything? I don't even know how to answer that.
I mean, you probably will lose a little bit of your identity at first as a parent, just because honestly, like, that's the truth. Like,
you go all in on the kid, and you kind of have to put your stuff aside.
And then you kind of figure it out, because it's just a whole new dynamic. And I think you'll probably know more. You'll understand what we're saying once you become a parent. But it's just really hard to explain becoming a parent. It's nothing scary. It's amazing. And it's awesome. But you have a new name. You're dad. And so you just have to embrace that. And then I would say really get your kids involved in the things that you like. That's
Absolutely.
a big thing.
So you like fishing? Start your kids out young fishing, and then you'll have a fishing partner for life.
Yeah, that's probably like the best answer I could probably think of.
Yep. Polo Field says you ain't working. I am always working harder than you. Just kidding. He has a group called We Workin'. So you don't. I always. She doesn't know. She's not in all the lawn stuff. Okay. See, it keeps skipping around on me. Let's see. What's your opinion of a wireless sprinkler system? Is there a wireless sprinkler system? Is there a Bluetooth speaker or Bluetooth sprinkler where you can just set it out in the lawn and water just magically appears?
Like Wi-Fi?
I don't know exactly what you mean by wireless. If you are referring to, I know quite a bit about the Irrigreen sprinklers. Those are, digital sprinkler heads that can water certain points of your lawn, and they can kind of adjust. Basically, precision watering is the best way I could explain it. And you can adjust the pattern so it won't spray certain items. You can shorten it, lengthen it. Getting ready to put those in my lawn, but other than that, I don't really know about a wireless sprinkler system. If you have something, send me a link to it. I'd love to look at it. Chad says, what's up from Colorado? New lawn renovation here. Added 4 inches of topsoil. Any idea on how to firm it up before seeding? How long ago did you add it? I know over time it'll firm up just from rain and stuff getting compacted. You could try to roll it. Other than that, 4 inches is quite a bit. Well, I mean, 4 inches is huge. So it's not funny. That's really the only way at a time, getting rained on, getting walked on and stuff like that. Or you could try to roll it with something like a heavy roller and see if that would kind of compact it and firm it up. Dan Blue Ball wants to know, is your side business still growing strong? The fertilizing stuff is growing. It's grown quite a bit this year, and I'm hoping to continue growing that and doing that because I love doing that. That's the fun stuff. Oh, did we lose our stream? That's not good. I am still here if you guys can hear me. I don't know what happened. There we go. We are back. Hopefully no one left. Let's see. Where are we at? Still waiting on snow to melt here in Maine. Yeah, I hear you. I talked to Jimmy Lewis out in Utah. He got snow. It's no fun. Rich Hubert, are you or have you bought any new equipment for this year? I have not. I'm trying to hold back for a little bit. Trying to get rid of stuff. I've got some stuff for sale that I'm getting rid of because I have too much stuff. But I'm sure there will be some things in the future that will come in handy that I'll need for this new place. Any thoughts on building a retaining wall along the backyard line? Cost would be high, but video content, flat field would be awesome. Might also help with water running down the back hill. I'm assuming you're talking about my behind our house. And I think we're going to take a lot of those rocks that we pulled out. I'm going to try to clean them up, make them look good. And I think before we put the lawn in, we are going to put a rock wall back there to keep the backyard flat so that it's not sloped. I think that would be a lot better. Okay. Casual Collector says, Mr. Lawn Whisperer, just want to say thanks for doing what you do. Thanks for your videos. I got the greenest and cleanest lawn in my quaint South Carolina neighborhood. Greenest and cleanest. I like that. Good one. Clean, tight, crispy edges.
That could be your next, what's it called when you put the words on the screen?
I want to put that on my resume. Greenest and cleanest lawn. I like it. Chuck Morgan. What's up, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Haven't talked to you in a while. Holly HW, any grass seed recommendation for Colorado? Colorado, yeah, I mean, I'm assuming bluegrass would do really well there, probably. So like I said earlier, I'm probably going to be using a Barenbrug mix, but Mountain View Seeds has awesome mixes. The GCI stuff is awesome. So really, I mean, any bluegrass would probably do really well in Colorado. Longest Yard. What's your guys' favorite TV show to watch after kids go to bed? On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone?
Like after bed?
The Office. Okay. Are you kidding me? When we put a yellow, I mean...
No, we watch it. He means like watch it together.
Yeah, like after kids go to bed, like
when
what?
When the kids go to bed, you're like already asleep. Okay, we like watching the Yellowstone, but like our background noise TV is The Office. That's fair.
Yeah, The Office. My camera keeps like pulling things up here. I'm gonna have to figure that out before next time. Sorry about that. Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
I do like Yellowstone. Yellowstone's awesome, but that's not like we're not gonna put like, oh, the kids are in bed. You want to watch a little Yellowstone? We're gonna turn on The Office.
That's the only time we watch it. We watch The Office like when the kids are up. We don't care, like whatever. But Yellowstone, I'm not watching that in front of my kids. Oh well.
Wondering what temp you would start spring cleanup here in Southeast Michigan, and thinking about running my son Joe. honestly, I don't think you're really going to do any damage. I think as long as the ground isn't frozen, you're fine. So I'm not sure what temps are in Michigan right now, but I would say as long as there's not frost on the ground or anything like that, clean it up. Do it. Do it. Left Tool says religiously watching. Love the show. He's a big fan. Huge Whisper fan. What's your favorite thing about this channel? He's got to bring up the IU Miami game. Come on.
Which one? They were both really sad.
Yeah, in case you didn't know, IU women's and men's both lost to Miami in the NCAA tournament within it was a day, back-to-back days, right?
I was at the women's game, and I almost cried. It was really sad.
Here's Grace Ortiz. Thank you, Grace. I just saw you in here. Thank you for joining us. Grace has been one of my longest longest followers on here. So says, what will be the first thing you will do to the yard to get the grass growing? So here's my plan over the next few weeks. I am going to measure the lawn because I still don't know how much space I have, and it's kind of an odd shape. So I got to measure the lawn, obviously for product, for grass seed, but also to plan out my sprinkler system because I'm going to do a soil test to figure that out. But then we're going to grade the yard, and then I'm going to put in sprinklers. As soon as that is done, I'll backfill the sprinkler lines, and then it's seeding, and gonna probably top dress some of the areas, probably cover the front slope up to hold the seed in place, and hopefully it'll grow. Bryce Starkey, we have a new construction yard, and not much black dirt over the clay. Best tips for working with clay soil. I'm in the same boat with you, my friend. I was going to bring in topsoil, but topsoil's so expensive right now, or at least around here it is. And so I'm just going to work with the clay. Best thing, you can have a nice lawn with clay soil. People don't realize that with the root cycling effect and all that stuff, and using good soil amendments over time. So I think if you're really worried about it, you could aerate and remove the cores and then backfill the holes with like a compost or a topsoil or sand or something to fill it. But I'm not too concerned about it. I think it's going to be okay. XX wants to know, we needed one more X to be Vin Diesel. Power raking in the spring. Yeah, go for it. I say do it. It'll clean some of the junk up, get your lawn able to breathe, and especially if you have a grass type that spreads like Kentucky bluegrass or something, it'll fill back in pretty quickly with the rain and some fertilizer and stuff, so all good. Eli, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Main Baller wants to know, what are your thoughts on weed and feed fertilizer products? I've heard some negative comments based on the timing of when you should weed versus feed. Cool season grasses. I am not a fan of weed and feed products. I think if that's all you can do or all you want to do, it's better than doing nothing. But I like to separate how much I weed and how much I feed, I guess. Because I like to control how much fertilizer I'm putting down, how much nitrogen I'm putting down. And so obviously to get the effects of the herbicide, you have to put down a certain amount of the product for it to work. And so you're only putting down a certain amount of the fertilizer or the nitrogen with it. And so I also think you get better results using liquid herbicides versus granular. And really, I'm pretty sure that the bags recommend that you water your lawn before or apply it to wet grass so that it sticks to the plant, so that the herbicide will actually stick to the plant and work like herbicides are supposed to. So, yeah, I'm not a fan. I like to apply them separately. Casual Collector, what are some differences between your typical Scott seeds from Lowe's and a higher quality seed like Blue Heat or any quality seed from a local garden center? This could be a compliment that we could talk all about seed. I actually wrote 4 pages of notes today on a podcast that I'm planning on recording in the next couple days, all about grass seed and seeding. But to keep it short and sweet, one, if you look at the bag of the Scott seed, you're going to probably see weed seeds versus high quality seed. It will have 0 weed seeds. The germination rate on the quality seed will probably be higher, which means more of it is going to grow. And second off, I think the cultivars are just in the Scott stuff is usually not as good or not as, again, we could get into a whole list of things about how they do in heat and how they do with disease and all that stuff. But a lot of Scott seeds also have a coating on them. And so you're getting a lot less seed in a bag versus you would if you go with a higher quality seed. What's going to be your insecticide strategy now that you're in the woods? So I do insect control for my business, my fertilization business, and I actually use a product called tick and skeeter deleter. It's a more natural product. It doesn't really kill bugs, but it does a great job of keeping them away. So you kind of have to use it ahead of time and not wait until the mosquitoes are present. And so I will probably apply that monthly starting in April, and April, May, June, July, and August, probably 5 apps, and that should keep them at bay. But yes, bugs will probably be an issue here if I don't get on top of it. Sunset Way wants to know favorite episode, line, character from The Office.
Oh my gosh.
There's way too many to choose from, but I will say favorite character's Creed.
Same.
Overall favorite episode. That's a tough one. Favorite line is whenever Michael and Dwight crash the car in the lake and they go back to get the turtles and they're not there, and Dwight turns around and says, "We'll bill ya." I don't know why. I just love that line. Look it up. John Cruz wants to know, if you could pick any coach in college, who would you want coaching Indiana? That's a tough question. I'm assuming he means current coach. I'm actually a big fan of Mike Woodson, and I think he's the guy, and I think he's gonna be around for a while. But if I could have any other coach besides him, there's a lot of coaches I don't like. There's a lot of coaches that I'm okay with. I am a big fan of, I don't like Michigan State, but I'm a big fan of Tom Izzo. Don't know how, but somehow he always has good teams come tournament time, even if they're not great during the year. I don't know. That's a good question. What team are you a fan of? Let me know. And who would you have coaching your team? Any Fert bag slaps in my near future? I've got so many bag slaps coming, you don't even know what to do. What do you think of a split application of fertilizer in the spring to avoid overgrowth? Effective? It's just like spoon feeding. I'm a big fan of spoon feeding. So basically, instead of putting down, 3/4 of a pound of nitrogen every 6 weeks or so, you put down a 1/4 pound every 2 weeks. It's essentially the same idea. So yeah, I think it's a great idea. Especially if you're using all liquids, it works really well. Do you happen to have any dogs? If so, how do you prevent them from destroying your lawn? My front yard is pristine, backyard is struggling. We do have a dog. Maybell. She's a miniature poodle, so I'm not sure she counts. And she's like the most perfect dog, and she won't go outside on her own. So if she's going to go outside of the bathroom, it's going to be wherever I'm going and standing pretty much. So I can pretty much have her go wherever I want. But also she would go in our last house and it never, like, her dog peed and mess up the yard, and she doesn't dig or anything like that. So I don't really have that experience, I guess. Sorry if I mispronounce this. I'm going to try Ole Pratsiuk. I think, sorry if I messed that up. Says, are you from Indiana? Can I use your advice for Indiana climate? I am in Indiana. We are in South Central Indiana, Bloomington. Grindstone Grooming, Daniel, what's up? Good to see you streaming. It is good to see you in the chat. Beard, earlier we were talking about the bearded lawn. Anybody who has a beard, go check this guy out. He is in Bloomington. Also, just started his own grooming company, beard products and things like that. Go check him out. His father-in-law is also a firefighter, so let's see. Thomas Moore, completely understand if you don't want to answer. Was your main profession? Assume your lawn care business is your side hustle. Appreciate you and your channel. Thank you for the good words. And I am a firefighter. Is my main profession. Lawn care is my side hustle, as you put it. Yeah. So it's a good combination. Works out well. I work 24 hours at the fire station, off 48 hours, so I'm able to do the lawn care stuff on the days off. Do you recommend those Get Green Quick fertilizers? I have Bermuda in the back and Zoysia in the front. Party in the back, business in the front. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by Get Green Quick. If you're talking about something that has iron and it says, green, quick green up in 24 hours. I love iron products. I actually sell an iron product myself, but there's a lot of good ones out there, and I think they work really well. Now, it's not something you want to use, strictly just to get that green and just keep pumping that. But it is definitely a tool in the toolbox that can help get your lawn darker green and look good. Am I screwed if I didn't put pre-emergent out yet in Virginia, turf type tall fescue? I don't know what your temperatures are, but no, I mean, you may have missed the optimum time. I mean, if soil temperatures are above 55, it's time to put it down, but you definitely still have time. You may be fighting some crabgrass come summer, but you can definitely still stop some of it. So I would go ahead and put it out. Best way to get rid of moss growing in your lawn. I'm about to tackle a yard for my business that is 1 acre, and it is about 80% moss. It's really the first time I've dealt with it. And moss is usually caused by 3 issues. It's a pH issue, it is a compaction issue, or what's 3 issues: high pH, low pH, or compaction issue. And so that's something to figure out. Do a soil test, check your compaction. That is how you can help solve it in the future. If you have a lot of shade, that is also an issue. But way to get rid of it, I've seen people use dish soap, and that can actually kill it. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet to tackle it. So I may make some videos on that. That's a good idea. Can you make money with just spraying lawns with a backpack sprayer? Absolutely. That is how I started out. Get licensed first if you're going to be putting chems on people's lawns. Check your state and see what you need to get started. But yes, you can definitely get started with a backpack sprayer. Where do you get tick and skeeter deleter? They have a website, yardcomfort.com, I think. I don't know. I'll put a link in the description of this after this video's over. It's not the cheapest product up front, but the application rates are so low that like the cost per 1,000 or cost per application is fairly low, fairly reasonable. Michael Patrick, are you going to install a sprinkler system in your new house? And if so, you're going to shoot it. Shoot it, like film it? Yes. That is coming.
No, shoot it with a gun. Yes.
Okay. This is what I deal with on a daily basis. Yes, I am going to film it. It's going to be going in about 2-ish weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, right before I seed. Wow, that's coming up. I got to get rolling, guys. Yes, I'll be putting one in. I'll be filming it, shooting it with a gun. What's better, liquid or granular fertilizer? What the best thing is with the equipment that you have. So if you have things to apply granular fertilizer, that's the best. If you have things to apply liquid, that's the best. But I think the best approach is where you do a combination of both, because there are certain products that are better granular, certain products better liquid, and I think if you can do a mixture of both and have a solid all-around program, you're going to get the best results. How many times have you driven by your old house to see how the lawn looks? I have driven by it, but I think every time I've driven by it was in wintertime, so it was dormant. So I need to, here in the spring when it's flourishing, I need to go see how it looks. Ooh. Let's see. Izzy D, thank you so much. You did not need to do that. Appreciate that. I'm the only one with the OnlyFans.
What is that woman's OnlyFans? Oh my gosh. Oh, it's me.
Princess Cut Lawn is in here. Good to see you too, my friend. I appreciate you stopping by. B. Darnell wants to know thoughts on robot mowers. I think robot mowers are, unfortunately, kind of the future. They're going to become more and more prevalent. I want one because I want to test one out and I want to see how they do, and I think they're kind of neat, but I also don't ever want to quit mowing my own yard. I want to keep doing that, and I hope that the rest of you or most of you feel the same way. I know Brett Goodyear is a big fan of the robot mower, but just laziness, Brett. Come on. Thomas Moore's starting Fire Academy soon himself. Good luck, man. Enjoy it, and hope everything goes well for you. Papa Mo's Low says your wife needs to co-host with you more often. They're probably liking you trying to make fun of me.
I mean, I'm pretty funny. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Pacific Northwest Lawns. Taking a trip to Salt Lake City this year. I may be there in early June. I wish, but I don't think I'm going to have time this year. Sounds like fun. Hopefully you get to go up in the mountains again. Dad Bod Lawn, what's your favorite Girl Scout cookie? Can't get Thin Mints off my mind. It's a tie for me between Samoas and Tagalongs. I'm not a Thin Mint guy.
I'm a Thin Mint gal. You can freeze them, or if you dip your Thin Mint in peanut butter, is so good. Try that if you haven't.
Izzy D says Site One recommends 2 apps of pre-emergent with fertilizer. However, they do have one dimension, 0.19. They say that can be used as a single app, but still risking in New Jersey. I love doing split applications of pre-emergent. I think it kind of hedges your bets. You put down half now, 30 days later, to 45 days later, you put down the other half, and it kind of helps extend your control there, because if you put it all down at once, it can break down quicker. So you're putting it down. If it breaks down a little bit, then you put it down again. It kind of just a little bit of insurance there. Are you a fan of the Anderson products, or have you tried them? What are your go-to products, or do you take it season by season? I have tried the Anderson products. They make good stuff. It's expensive stuff. They're proud of it, but they have good stuff. I like their PGF 1608 fertilizer. It's pretty good stuff. How many times did I just say good stuff?
Wow.
Good stuff, good stuff.
My feet are freezing, by the way. I need socks.
Best way to fill in ruts in the lawn from mowing. I would recommend changing your pattern up if you're not doing that. If you go over the same way multiple times in a row, you can get ruts in the lawn. But just slowly you can add topsoil to it, or a lot of people will use sand. If you're just doing some spots I don't recommend sand unless you're going to put it over the whole lawn. But just really just topsoil. Slowly try to bring it up. You don't have to do it all at once. You don't see a lot of lawn care videos with larger lawns. Any advice when most of your applications are done with a riding lawnmower and a pull-behind aerator and spreader? I mean, the same rules still apply. You need to calibrate it and figure out how much finished product. So if you're using liquids, pull-behind sprayer. I don't think you have maybe you don't have a sprayer. If you do have a sprayer, so if you're finished product, say you have 1 gallon, you need to know how much that 1 gallon covers. So you know how much of that liquid is going down per 1,000 square feet, just like you would with a backpack sprayer, just like you would with anything else. Might take you a little more time because you have a larger lawn, but more time for fun. Ned G says, how are you guys doing? Long time, Justin. Ned is the one who won my giveaway I think it was 2 years ago. And I drove. You drove all it was like 4-hour drive. I took the stuff to him. Hope that stuff's working out for you, Ned.
That was a cute video.
So cute. It's so cute.
Where's
Have you gone into a Site One? I have. I get some of my stuff for my business from Site One.
Where's the guy that was on YouTube forever and he was Caroline's favorite?
Striper Man.
Striper Man.
Surprise, Striper Man's not graced us with his presence.
I know. I love Striper Man.
Ned G says he hopes the lawn care onesie fit the baby.
Oh, was
yes.
it black one? Was it that black one? Yeah.
Ned, the other day I used your... you gave me the thing to put on the ground to use, like if I'm changing oil or something to help my knees. I used that the other day. I thought of you. We are, let's see. Good to see you. How's the leg? Leg is doing well. It's healing up. Still not 100%, but it is getting there. The Mud Whisperer. That is me in the flesh. For the time being. We'll have grass soon. Soon. Give it a little bit of time and we'll be back at it. All right, if anybody has any more questions, put them in here. We're just hanging out.
Is it?
9:24. We've gone almost an hour. If you guys, if you guys are not on Instagram, because on Instagram I tried to put a poll to see what time people liked having the live streams. I want to know what works best for everyone because I want as many people in here as I can if we're going to do this. And so if you haven't gone on Instagram and voted for the time, I'm going to put a poll on this YouTube community page or whatever. I'll put the same poll after this is over. Look for it and vote what time works out best for you to get on here and join us. Mondays, I think we're going to keep trying to do Mondays. Mm-hmm. So Mondays work best for me and for us. So Mondays it is. Okay, here we go. This is a live stream your guys' way of getting away from the kiddos.
It's something to
maybe
do together and not fall asleep on the couch.
I fall asleep either in the kids' bed, putting them to sleep, or on the couch 99% of the time. So this gives me something to stay awake for. Do you use mesotrione when seeding in spring in a starter fertilizer? So anytime I seed anything bigger than like a basketball size spot, I like to use mesotrione or tenacity for you guys who don't know what that is, to prevent weeds from popping up, especially in the spring. Since if you can't use stronger pre-emergent like a prodiamine, then definitely recommend using it. It'll save you a headache. In South Carolina, when would you make the first grass cut and at what height? I would say, I don't know what type of grass you have, probably Bermuda. If it's warm enough, go ahead and cut it. At what height is kind of determined by you. Can't give you an exact height. I would say whatever height it is at from the fall, cut it a little bit lower, like one notch lower on your mower. Especially if it's warm enough where your grass is starting to grow or greening up, definitely just go for it. How often do you recommend mowing per week? It really depends on the time of year and the grass type and how fast your grass is growing. I like to mow twice a week, about every 3 days. I think that's the best. More often you mow, the better it'll look and the better it'll grow. We're losing the camera again, guys. I don't know why it's doing that. I must have something function on the camera where it's turning off every like 25 minutes or something. I'll look into that. Rookie mistake over here. But really, the more often you can mow, the better it'll be. How old are the girls now? Caroline's 8. Claire is about to turn 4. Her birthday party's this coming weekend. And Ella is 1.5.
Good job.
It's crazy. Oh, did you think I didn't know?
No, I knew you.
Do you soil test all lawns or just trouble lawns? For my business, whenever I get a new lawn, I soil test it so I can know where it's at. And then troubled lawns, like if I've tried to seed or a spot and it's not growing, then it's probably something going on that a soil test will help me determine. I don't soil test every lawn I do every year, but new lawns, when I acquire them, soil test it. That way, if there's an issue, you can go back and look at it. If the customer has an issue, you can show them what's going on, or just kind of gives you a backup in case anything happens. Favorite fertilizer on your website for spring fertilizer application? Freedom, PFG, new construction, Barenbrug, RTF. First application, if you said it's new construct. For new construction, I would probably go with a granular because a liquid doesn't have anything to apply to. So I would go with the granular, and I would probably go with a 12-12-12 if you just seeded it, or a 1-1-1, if that makes sense. So I think there's a 12-12-12 on the website. If you already have grass, then I'm going to say a gentle wake up with Sanctuary, and that'd be good. I also really like, for liquid, I like the 2600. That's on my website. I use that in my business. Here you go, casual collector. NC State did several studies in the best type of grasses for the Carolinas. High quality tall fescue is best. Cut at the highest setting. Okay, so maybe he doesn't have Bermuda. If he does have fescue, then that's kind of a different story. So thank you for pointing that out. If you have fescue, first cut, I still recommend cutting it either at the same height you did in the fall to end the year, or one notch below, just to get some of that top growth off of it, get some airflow in there. And then, yes, like you said, fescue does really well, cut tall. So mow it tall. Did you ever see YouTube getting this big? Any advice for someone just starting out? I feel like I'm just starting out. Still working my way up there. Especially now after not being in it for so long, trying to get back into it. But advice for someone just starting out, just be yourself. Film videos that you enjoy doing, and show what you're doing in your yard and be yourself. Don't try and, I don't know, be consistent. That's a big one. It's all I've ever done is just show what I'm doing in my yard and put my own spin on it and try to make them entertaining in my own way. Do you have any updates of how the parents' yard project is coming along? It turned out it actually looked pretty good right now. I should film a video, but it was going to be a big fall on that, putting fertilizer on it, and I was going to do an aerate and overseed, and obviously I got hurt, so I wasn't able to do that. But honestly, it's waking up right now. It looks pretty good. Eli, thanks. Yes, I heard the first cut shorter to allow more sunlight to warm up and wake up the grass. Yes. Yep. And a lot of times the tips of the grass will kind of turn brown over the winter. And so cut that off and get rid of that, and it'll make the grass look better instantly. Does it make any difference to mow before applying either granular or spray fertilizer? If you mow, I usually like to mow before I do a granular so that the granules have an easier time getting down in the canopy of the grass, past all the top growth. For liquid, I'm going to tell you to read the label, because some things will tell you not to mow 2 days before applying or not to, whatever. And label is law. So, typically, if you mow before you apply, you'll be in good shape. How many areas of the lawn do you soil test? It depends on how big your yard is. If you have a big lawn, I would recommend doing multiple soil tests, one for front, one for back, or if you have different microclimates. So if you have an area of your lawn that's very shaded or gets a lot of runoff, or you know what I mean, one area is really sunny, then maybe you want to do different tests for those different areas. But if you have an average size lawn, just pull 6 cores from around the different parts of the lawn, mix them together, and that should do just fine. Any benefits of plant growth regulator on a tall fescue lawn? Disease resistance, stress tolerance? Honestly, that is a good question. I have not applied plant growth regulator to a tall fescue lawn. So I don't really know, but that's actually something that intrigues me, and I will actually look that up and see if I can find any information on that. Maybe if you remind me next week show, if I find something, I'll try and talk about that. Casual collector, how would you prepare your grass for hot summers? A lot of my grass got burned away last year, 2 consecutive months of 90+ degree weather. Water bill went through the roof. Do you have tall fescue? Did we just figure that out? I'll be honest with you. I think the best my lawn looked was when I was using the Sanctuary and Dab, leading up to summer and through summer, because it just seemed to really do well during the hot months of the summer, with little water. I mean, I watered for sure, but not as much. So just there's a lot of good stuff in those products that help with heat and stress tolerance and all that. So something to look into for sure. Any idea to keep darn birds from eating all the new seed I put out? I'll have an issue with that as well. One, top dress, something like peat moss or compost to kind of protect the seed and hold it in. And 2, I've heard of a lot of people putting like CDs around, something shiny, because birds don't like shiny things, I think. And so you could try and put your old CDs around the yard that'll reflect off the sun. If that doesn't work, 20 gauge. Just kidding, obviously. Do you dethatch every year or just when thatch is a problem? I don't dethatch every year if it's a problem, or to prep the seed bed, because running a dethatcher or a power rake or a scarf or something like that does a good job of prepping a seed bed. Especially if you have Kentucky bluegrass, you can run a dethatcher over it every year because if it thins out just a little bit, it's going to grow right back. So one thing, after talking to some professional greenskeepers or people who work for MLB teams, some of them believe that the thatch layer, if you have too thick of a thatch layer, that's where the disease is going to thrive. That's where bugs are going to thrive. And so if you get rid of that, so you dethatch often, and I'm talking often like they do it every like 8 weeks every year, then that's going to help keep that stuff away. So especially if you're real mowing or cutting short, thinning that out, you're going to get a better cut. And for me, once a year max is good, but I don't even do it every year unless I'm seeding. How often do you sharpen your blades? I try to sharpen my blades about every 4th or 5th mow. So that's, some people that's kind of excessive, especially if you have a smaller lawn. You don't have to do it that often, but Neighbor Dominator is in the house. Thank you for coming and joining us, sir. Oh, conversation is riveting for the wife. She's a big for me. She's obviously very zoned in on this conversation we've got here. Neighbor Dominator says he's dethatching the short stuff a lot this year. Going to try it out. Yeah, if you're real mowing, I definitely recommend running the dethatcher over it. I don't think it's really going to hurt. Maybe if you got the setting way too low and you're ripping out a bunch of your good stuff, probably not a good idea. But as long as you're just taking out the junk, I'd say you'll be fine. So, all right, I think that's it. I think that's we're going to call it a night there. I think we did good. So, like I said, go vote either on Instagram or look for a poll after this. Let me know what time you would like this. I don't want to. I think an hour. We're an hour and 6 minutes right now. I think an hour, maybe a little longer, is good. But I don't need to go 2 hours or anything like that. So, we're gonna call it a night. Thank you guys for joining us. Anything you want to say? Closing thoughts.
The Neighbor Dominator. I know him.
Okay. You were on your phone and I gave him a shout out. And now you're trying to act like he's just getting in here.
He came to our house, right?
Yeah. He did. He came to our house.
Is he the one that got me the nail?
Yeah.
Oh, he got me a nail salon gift card, and I was like so thankful.
So thankful. Good dude.
So
Go
sweet.
follow the Neighbor Dominator. Check him out. Good guys. Good to see you guys. Thank you guys for joining us. We will do it again. I work next week. No, it's my Kelly day. I'm off work next week. We're in next week.
There you go.
See you guys.